Today we're going to be talking about 60,000 in sales in 6 months, how we did it, how it came about, and all that good stuff, and really show you some back-end things that we've done, some partnerships we've done, and really walk you through the steps that we've used. Before we do that, just so you know, I'm your host. I am Shauna Siegel. I'm the CEO of One Choice for Your Store, and if you have questions after this, feel free to email us, support@1c4y.com. Or if you go to Twitter, Shauna Siegel, message me there. I'm horrible with direct messages because I get tons and tons of spam. But if you tell me there's a direct message there, then I'll make sure to look at it. But feel free to contact me on Twitter. I love talking to people. I always tell people when I get started my story, and it was in the year of 2000, end of 1999, that I started my first Yahoo store. And I was working at home alone. I just had left a really bad divorce. I had 2 kids, and I want to say I was the picture-perfect mother, but that really wasn't the case. And this is me in my jammies and working from home and pulling out my hair, and I still work in jammies from home today, and I absolutely love it. But I do have kids in the background screaming, "He touched me," or dogs barking like crazy. But I love it. And now what I'm doing is I'm the CEO of One Choice for Your Store. We are a Yahoo Small Business Partner. I host the New Life event, which is coming up September 15th through the 17th. It's 30 webinars in one weekend and all free. I also host a radio show every Monday on webmasterradio.fm, and I love talking about SEO and Yahoo. But what would happen is I talk to these people, and they'd open up their first store, and then they go, now what? You know, what do I do now? I'm open, but you know, people aren't coming. How do I get more traffic? How do I get more sales? How do I get higher conversion rates? So when I saw these people frustrated and pulling out their hair, I thought, you know, I've got to come up with something. So I came up with the Now What project, and I opened an online store called One Choice for Quilting. I'm going to take you back a little bit more to show you really how we got there, and how this idea really came about even more so. So basically what had happened in the end of August of last year, there was this company that was called AccuQuilt, and let's go to their website real quick. And they created this new product, and the AccuQuilt basically, well, it's maybe not so new, but they really wanted to get it off the ground, okay? So what they did is they reached out to all these different bloggers, and they said, hey, try out our product, and not only will we give you one for free, but we'll also give you a second one to give to your blog readers. You can have, you know, a giveaway on your website. And I thought, oh, this is really interesting. So I started paying more attention to it. Now, what was interesting is not only were they giving away the AccuQuilt Go Cutter, which in itself is, let's see, the Go Shop, Go Fabric Cutters. So the fabric cutter itself was $349, plus they were giving away 3 dies, and this is what you need to actually do the cutting. So the 3 dies, I mean, goodness, they range from prices from $25 all the way up to $40. So this was like a $500 prize that they were giving away, but they weren't just doing it on one website. As a matter of fact, if we kind of go look back at AccuQuilt giveaway, there's 129,000 results talking about AccuQuilt giveaways. Now, this was absolutely brilliant marketing in my eyes. I am thinking this is just like, wow, because here you have all these people who have not heard about this product, don't know anything about this product, and you're creating this buzz, and you're getting links into your website, and people are talking about you. You know, and this is when Freckled Winsy talked about the AccuQuilt and how wonderful it was when she did her review. Then she did this giveaway, and part of that giveaway was that, this is the actual giveaway here, that you need to head over to AccuQuilt and choose your 3 favorite dies. Now, even if you didn't win anything, you were taken to the AccuQuilt website to take a look at everything and see what they had to offer. again, brilliant, because now you've got people coming into your site, and although maybe I wasn't really real thrilled about this whole AccuQuilt thing, I start to look around and I'm like, wow, look at what I could do with this, or look what I could do with that. Wouldn't that be so cute if I had those? So I absolutely fell in love with it, and thankfully I won, as I kind of talked about in this blog called That's So Shauna. And I started That's So Shauna because let's see, this was in August. In June, I started taking sewing classes with Mom, and they had somebody there doing quilting, and I was like, okay, I want to try out quilting. I love quilting. I've always loved it. I think it's gorgeous, so I want to try it out. So I got involved, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to start a new blog called That's So Shauna, and I'm going to talk about my quilting adventures and, you know, even my quilting misadventures, as we can see here. And I told people about how I won. I won this AccuQuilt giveaway, and I was just so very excited about it. So then I started talking to more and more store owners, and I was watching all of these things happen, and I thought, you know what? I am going to open up an online store. And since I'm loving this quilting, because again, I just started about a year ago quilting. I love all of this with fabric, and I love all of this, and I'm getting where I just adore it. But, you know, how can I tie this into the Yahoo Store owners? And I came up with this idea, the Now What project, and I became very, very excited about it. And to test some of the theories that I had, I actually started doing some giveaways on this website to kind of prepare and see what would happen. So we can kind of go in here, and now I've kind of dropped this blog since I've started the other one, but new giveaway right here. And it talks about going to the actual blog post to get it there. I did some other giveaways in here. Let's see, back from Pure Love. This was a, you know, part of the giveaway that I did with the Pure patterns. But what I was finding out, and okay, here we go. Freckled Whimsy inspired me to do this. So I went into this and I did my own giveaway. And the first time, really, I only had 2 comments. And it was absolutely horrible. And, you know, so I was thinking, okay, we need to keep going. We need to keep going. Well, I can tell you now that although we only had 3 people enter my first giveaway, by the time I started doing this and doing more and more and more and more and more, our last giveaway had, let's look over here, 554 comments. Now that's low. I hate to say it. It's low because some of our comments have had 600 or 800 comments of people joining in our giveaways. And I thought, man, this idea of giveaways is just so brilliant. And I brought it to this website. And I came up with the Now What project to document this process of opening in a store and getting to know customers and using social media. And so what I did is I started out with that first blog where I had kind of gotten to know some people. Then I came on to Twitter and I started talking to people who also love to sew and also love to quilt. And the great thing about it is that I was sharing a passion. And I truly, truly believe that you do have to be passionate about what you're selling online. And you have to absolutely love it. If you sell shoes, you know, you need to be like the biggest shoe collector and you love shoes no matter what, and that's all there is to it. If you're selling, you know, pet supplies, you love animals, you love pets, your house is like mine, you've got, you know, a zoo going on. I've got 4 dogs here and 3 horses. You know, it's a zoo. I love animals and I am passionate about the animals. So that's why a long time ago I used to have a site that was One Choice for Dogs, because we sold all this stuff for dogs. Of course, that was a long time ago, but it was part of that passion, a part of that sharing it. One of the books I've recently read is called Crushing It by Gary, and I can never say his last name. It's Crushing It, about using your passion to like killer sales. And it's an excellent book that I highly, highly, highly recommend, because it really does talk about, yes, Chuck. There you go. I can't ever say his name, though, properly. I know there's a new Wine TV library by most of the people that you know it by. But get this book and read it. It's all about crushing it. All right, so the first thing that we did when we opened up this new store is we really reached out to the bloggers. We really reached out to the people that we had already met, and we tried to get them to share the word about it. Now, what was interesting is I kind of thought maybe I'd have some crossover between One Choice for Your Store customers and these quilting customers. And I even talked about the New Life event when I first started going. If you look at this, it wasn't tweeted, it wasn't shared, it wasn't liked by any of the people that were in this website. And what I quickly learned is nobody gave a damn who Shauna Siegel, One Choice education person was. They didn't care. They didn't know anything about me. They didn't care to know about that. All they cared to talk about was the quilting. So when I talk about this and people go, well, it's because you're Shauna. Well, yeah, I am Shauna, but these people didn't care. Many of you are familiar with Rob Snell. He wrote the book Yahoo Small Business. He also owns gundogsupply.com. Let's head over here. Does a lot of great SEO teaching, does a lot, went and spoke at small business or at the Capitol Hill about small business and online businesses, and this is his website. But I can tell you that the people shopping on this website probably don't give a darn that Rob Snell just spoke at Yahoo Summit, or that Rob Snell has spoke in front of Congress about Yahoo Small Business. They don't care about that. These guys are hunters. They're into something completely different. And what I found out quickly is that the quilters worked the same way. And I quickly learned that I needed to change what I was doing. So I started focusing more on getting to know these people as quilters and sharing the quilting experience. As you can see, it was very slow going. I mean, you know, here we had 145 people, but I bet you if I looked at some of the other ones, the grand opening, you know, here we had 114 or 131, but it was very, very slow, and it kept kept going. And so the thing we had to focus on the most was getting to know people. So what we did is we joined in on Twitter, and we started getting to know people on Twitter and talking to people on Twitter and having real conversations. You know, I see a lot of people that it's a one-way, you know, thing. It's this is our specials today, and did you know that we have this product, and okay, if you want to do this, you can do that, and if you want to do this, you can do that. And we completely focused on the customers when we built this Twitter up. And some of the ways that we did that was by using search term phrases for people that we knew were going to be buying our products. And we did that using Hootsuite. I absolutely love Hootsuite. I'm going to bring this over here, and it might look a little confusing at first, but this is what I call the Hootsuite tab for everything having to do with the quilting. Now I've got another tab over here, which basically kind of has like a little of at of different people or keywords. But if I specifically want to go in and build up our Twitter, then I come over to this tab, and I'm talking about it for One Choice for Quilting. And I have the home feed that has everybody's feed over here. I also have the mentions that are people actually talking and having discussions. Now, one of the big products that I sell is Moda fabric. And Moda has this Moda bake shop where people can submit ideas for different patterns, and they can submit different things for other people to work on, and it's a good way to get publicity. But at the same time, I know that people who are talking about Moda fabric or seeing something really cute on the Moda Bake Shop are going to be the type of customers that I want to reach out to. So, you know, we can talk about this person, Moda Bake Shop, charming book cover. Put a link over here. And wanted to share this, used it on StumbleUpon, thought the book cover was really cute. Well, now we can go in and say, you know, thank you for sharing the book cover. That is really cute. We can retweet that message and say, oh, look what was found on the Moda Bake Shop. But either way, we're working and we're talking to people who are interested in what we are going to be talking about and in our products. Now, the other thing we've always done is a search for our name, like One Choice for Quilting, as well as with spaces, One Choice for Quilting. So that's something else that we want to constantly monitor. And there's other things that we also like to search for. There is a Talk NT chat that happens every week for quilting. So we like to watch over that and see what's happening. You could also be doing searches for some of the big products like the jelly rolls or the charm packs, whatever the case may be. We wanted to focus more on Moda because that was like the main brand that we were going to cover. So that's what we did. So we started with conversations. We started getting to know people. We started sharing on these valuable links. We started creating relationships. Now, these relationships are absolutely amazing. And I love these talks that we have, and we're always talking. And, you know, they knew 2 weeks ago that my daughter-in-law was going in for an ultrasound and was having problems with the baby. And people are saying, you know, hey, how is your daughter-in-law doing? How, you know, did she get her test results back? And this is not because they're trying to connect with a business, but they're trying to connect with me personally. And I want you all to take that type of attitude to your Twitter account. Be very transparent and be who you are, and be not afraid to talk about things that are personal, because we're trying to build up to the like, know, and trust. Our customers have to like us, have to know us, and have to trust us before they're going to purchase from us. So the other thing we've also done is we've built up our Facebook. Whenever we do a giveaway, we are constantly saying, like our Facebook page. Now, in 6 months, we've been able to get over 2,100 likes, and this I'm very happy with. The other thing we do is we're constantly asking questions. I've noticed that Kat has been changing her things that she's done lately and asking a lot of questions, and she's getting a lot of feedback from people. You know, she talks about, what about your Manic Monday or Wacky Wednesday? I see that, Kat. I see that. And it's great because she's asking questions. And a lot of times what I see is people on their Facebook pages are sell, 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 sell. But, and, you know, or not having that communication. And I will say that when you have certain businesses, more business to business, you may not have as much interaction, feedback going back and forth as when you're doing retail, because some of those business to business people that you're trying to reach maybe are just as busy as you are and they don't have the time. Whereas we know that our quilting customers, a lot of them are stay-at-home moms that are working and you know, trying to earn money from staying at home. So we're always trying to talk to them, and not in a sales pitchy way. You know, how are the world's best quilters doing today? P.S. I hope you share some projects. So right away, I posted this probably about 15 minutes, 30 minutes before the webinar, you know, and here's Elaine sharing one of her projects, which, wow, that's really cute. Here's Sharon, and she is showing off that she's using this under construction to make a quilt. There's other people who are sharing. Karen, the latest quilt top that she's done. Everybody's sharing and talking and interacting and having a good time. And what's really fun is that when they talk about these projects, we've seen where a lot of them will actually link up to us and say, hey, I got this from One Choice for Quilting. Do you love it? It's absolutely great. This is wonderful. We've even got people doing that in Twitter, which is really great. I can show you for instance, on that one. And actually, it'd probably be easier if I brought it in from Hootsuite. So let me. But what's really great is that we're having people that are that are trying to sell our products for us now because of the relationships that we've built. Let me bring that back over here, and we're going to go down here. And right here from So Amanda, you know, she says, One Choice has the fabric. It was mentioned on my blog. Here's another person saying, I did an order of Flurry and Fig Tree from One Choice for quilting. You know, usually what we'll see is when people get their orders, they're talking about, wow, I can't wait to order from you again. So if we actually go to One Choice for Quilting and we look at the testimonials, you know, we've got people who are just saying, I just received my package and I can't wait to get it again. Thank you so much for the great fabric. Amazed at the quick packaging. You know, constantly on Facebook and Twitter, people are talking about their orders. And we're putting this in the testimonials because we want people to see the faces, you know, because this here isn't as impactful as seeing the images and maybe some of their friends that have said, wow, this site is really great. These people are really great. All right, so that's more of the social media. We brought in the blogging. We brought in contests. We brought in the giveaways. We brought in Twitter. We brought in Facebook. We really do our best to connect with the Facebook, you know, and keep asking them questions because you want to stay on their mind, constantly want to stay on their mind. So now let's go into, let's look at some of the sales and where they're coming from. And so we look at this and we can see, I think it's about, if I do a report, it's about 63,000 that we've done since we opened up the store the first week of August, or first week of February, I apologize, which I'm happy with these results. I'm really happy with these results. I'm happy at the way that things are, you know, increasing and getting better and better and better. During the month of June, we had this sample sale that came in that I think we had like $5,000 in sales in one day, which is why you see this boost. But it's going well, and we like it, and we want to see this constant improvement. So let's take a look at some of the references and see what we've done. First of all, let's take a look at this Google graph, because I find that this can be very helpful, especially for new store owners. As you can see, we weren't getting much traffic from Google when we first started out, but slowly and surely, everything is going up in a very natural pace. Now, when you're opening up a new store, some people try to rush it, and what they'll have is they'll have like this, let me get my little highlighter here, they'll have like this straight line, and then they'll do a little spammy thing and go, whoop, and Google sees that. Google sees that. Google sees what's going on and wonders, okay, is this natural, or have they tried any, you know, have they done something in particular? They're going to be looking for signs of what exactly happened to make that happen. So this like slow and steady pace is absolutely wonderful for us. When we go look at the details, it's interesting to find that One Choice for Quilting, the name itself, has been searched for so many times because of the fact that we've gone out there and branded the website through Twitter, through Facebook, and now we're seeing that come back where people are looking for our name. We're also starting to see that as time goes on, we are getting better and better rankings for search terms people are looking for. For instance, people were looking for French General jelly rolls. So if we go over here and we look at French General jelly rolls, we can find out that we are number 3. I'm very proud of that. French General jelly roll from Moda Bake Shop is from the manufacturer. The second one that we see is called Fat Quarter Shop. They've been in business for about 8 years. Absolutely huge. They have like every fabric you can possibly imagine. And then it was us and Amazon. I'm happy with this. This is really good. This is our natural search rankings. But we got there by using social media. Let's take a look at some other things that we've done. Let's look at our blog. Now, you can clearly see where I went into surgery and had to stop the blogging. And I started picking it up again, and this week I got sick. Now, people say, is blogging really worth it? Heck, yes, because at one point, the sales from our blog equaled the same from Google. Well, right now, our total sales that's showing from Google is at 12,000, and from our blog is 5,000. So when people tell me that they're not blogging, I'm like, oh my God, you're leaving all of this on the floor. Now, if you look at our next one, it's called Amy's Creative Side. Now, what is Amy's Creative Side? And let's go into that. Amy's Creative Side is actually an author that wrote a quilt book and that had all kinds of different projects in it. Now, we knew that she was an influencer in the quilting community. She's got a brand new book out. It's like reaching #1. It's absolutely gorgeous. Not only that, she is planning the Sewing Summit, which is a brand new conference for quilters. There's a couple of other things she's got going on as well. There's this thing that she does, Bloggers Quilt Festival. So we found that she's a very influential person within the quilting community. So what we did is we went to her and we said, hey, we'd like to meet up with you and market with you and do an affiliate program. So whenever somebody purchased something from her website, they come to our website and purchase something, we are going to give her some money back from that. This has worked out beautifully, as you can tell. This is how we have our site here. We've got our banner here with a link to our website, and it's that affiliate link, and it's bringing in traffic, it's bringing in sales, and when we look at this, as we can see, there's $930 in sales since we've been working with her, and 2,000 visits. Now, sometimes what will happen is they'll come in through Amy's Creative Side, and then they'll go through another link or another link, and it won't show that. But we definitely can see an increase when we blog with her. So we said, okay, let's do some giveaways on your website. And that's where you see these huge spikes. These are the giveaways times. So we're giving away maybe a $30 kit on her website. It costs us $15. And look at these spikes in traffic that we're getting, and look at the sales that we're getting as well. You know, so that's part of reaching out and getting together with other people in your community, finding out who the influencers are and how you can make money with them. We've done this with a couple of different bloggers, and it's worked out really, really well. There's actually another one, this one here, Kara Quilts. She's another one that we've done quite a bit with, and as you can see, from the last 180 days, this is when we did a giveaway with her. Now, what we found with Kara Quilts is, although she's a smaller blogger, people really trusted her and would come in and purchase and purchase and purchase. I think if you don't have an affiliate manager program, by the way, we didn't want to pay a whole bunch for it. So what we did is we went into the Yahoo Store and clicked on Create Links. And we've created these links for Amy's Creative Side or Kara's Quilt. So if I go in here and I actually look at this information, I can find out that her total visits have been 2,546. From her, we've had 39 orders, and we've given her $273 of that. And she's bringing in the sales. I mean, here's $200, $141, $134, $113. And she can track this and come back. Now, what's also really cool is if you've got products that these bloggers are using, you can also set them up where they can come in and purchase with your website. So instead of giving them actual cash value, they have an available balance that they can go back and spend on your store. So this is what's really interesting and really fun about this when you're creating these links and getting to know people, finding out who those influencers are. That's very, very important. Find out who the influencers are and getting them to share with you all of this great information. Now, I see here that somebody's asking about, okay, Doug's asking, how did you work on your search engine optimization? Interestingly enough, we didn't. What we tried to do more than anything was just be extremely real and extremely personable. So what I did is I hired a lady who has MS. She's absolutely wonderful, but she can only work, so many hours per week. And she didn't have a clue about SEO. Not a clue. So I asked her to write the descriptions for these products. And what happened is she started writing these different descriptions, not caring about SEO or not caring about, oh, I should have a keyword density of this or keyword density of that. And I apologize that my internet is so slow. I live in the boonies. I paid $500 a month for a T1 line that is slow as can be. So I do apologize for that. So come on now, get in there, and I can show you some of these descriptions. But the way she writes them is just more of a natural feel, and that's what Google's looking for when it comes to your search engine optimization. Are you doing this for the customer, or are you doing this for the search engines? The biggest thing to ask yourself any time that you're doing anything regarding SEO is to say, okay, now I know why that's not on there. And why it's not going to that. I need to fix that right away. The biggest thing that we've seen that really, really helps is just by not doing that SEO and doing really great descriptions that answer who, what, when, where, how, and why. So, she's put in here, whimsical, modern, oops-a-daisy is a fabric collection full of frilly charm. And there's lots of information about it. And, hey, sorry we don't have a good picture. It just came in, but we'll post one as soon as we can. Now, somebody's asking, well, how do you do unique content for over 3,000 products? You do it by starting with 5 products a day. You work on it every day. You take your top products to start with. So for instance, if we were going to take our top products from our website, we know that this Oops-a-Daisy line is selling. So we would create unique content, of course, for this particular line because it is extremely popular. We know that Dogwood Trails is extremely popular, so we would also start there. But do 5 to 10 products a day, every single day, and keep doing it until you have all of these turned, because what's happening is if we look at this, all right, let's take a look at, let's try Oops-a-Daisy layer kit. Okay, so we take a look at Oops-a-Daisy layer cake, bam, we're number 1. What happens is you see these other people that they're not really writing much content on these, or they're using the manufacturer's description. So basically all this says is, this is a layer cake from Moda, there's the SKU, and then they repeat that information down here. It's not really a lot of information there. And Google can see that. I'm surprised Google hasn't gone, this is just not even working right. But if you look at some of these descriptions, it's basically the same. Here's basically the same that the last site wrote, but then it's got what is layer cake, what is jelly roll, what is honey room, what's charm pack, and all this other information down here. But that's why we're number 1 and they're not, is because we've taken the time to do that unique content. And we're focusing on what the customer would want to know about the product. Why is there an image that doesn't look like a layer cake? Well, because we just got it in. Or tell us a little bit more about this. It's got frilly flower charm. There's fruit colors to spread in the picnic, ladybugs, lacy butterflies to decorate the air. The palette's happy and bright with lime green and orange, pinks, creamy yellows, and brown. We're giving more information about the actual product so that way they can make an informed decision. Now, Teresa was asking how many people are actually helping me with the site and how much time do you carve out each day for the project. I just started out with just Nancy to help me with writing descriptions. I would put in a basic description in, and then she would work about 10 hours a week putting in better descriptions. Let me grab Diet Coke. I was doing all of the processing and the shipping, and my husband was helping me with the cutting because many of the fabrics have to be cut before we send. This store kind of blew up, and I could no longer just work on it on weekends and during the evenings, because we were getting so many orders per day that I had to bring someone else in. So I did bring in this wonderful little girl, Kayla, who's kind of like a friend of the family, but she's absolutely wonderful. And now she's kind of helping with the emails and with cutting and with taking care of those things. And then after my surgery, actually about 2 weeks ago, my husband took over the shipping part. So right now, there's actually 3 employees working, you would say, this site. And then I still try to do the marketing. But, I'm finding it difficult because I still have a full-time job to do. I have one choice for your store. That's my first thing I have to concentrate on. So this is why I had to bring on that help so I can do that. Teresa says, you're not drop shipping? No, we have all of this in our house, and it's been interesting. It's been very interesting. It's taken over our lives, I can tell you that much, and it's absolutely phenomenal. And what's really interesting is I got together with a wonderful lady to help us go into multi-channels. And we wanted to take our products to eBay. We wanted to take our products to Amazon. And I'm not even including those numbers when I talk to you right now. Because if we look at order reports here in Amazon, let's just look at, well, this isn't the report I'm wanting. Sorry. I hate these. I don't like the reports at Amazon because I feel like I'm so bonkered out, and I don't know what's coming and who's coming where, and because I just like my Yahoo Store. So as you can see, we've got the sales and traffic that's coming in from Amazon. I think we did $800 in sales just during the last month. I mean, it's working out really well being on Amazon and doing that. Okay, here we go. We can see more reports. So settlement reports, yeah, no, that's not exactly where I want to be. Anyway, we've probably done about $1,500 there altogether. We've also got it on eBay. We've just started on eBay. She just got started on Etsy. So we're trying to get it in multiple locations, but I knew I couldn't do that, which is why I brought in Karen to help me with that. And she's done a really, really great job. So, this is a great question, how do you balance the full-time job and this product? Do you work on each one on certain days? I work every single day on every single one of these so that I can try to do as much as I possibly can. Some days I can only give 10 minutes to marketing on One Choice for Quilting. But as I've seen in the sales, my sales suffer when I don't give it the attention that it deserves. And that's what happens to a lot of us. We get super busy, we don't have the time, and we can see where, okay, now the sales are going down. I can tell you right now, sales have been extremely slow because of the fact that I got sick. So I wasn't paying attention to it. I wasn't doing what I should be doing to market the business. And, here we are this week with $1,200 in sales, whereas, last week we had 4,000, and the week before that we had 3,000, and then the week before that almost 4,000. And then you see this little note here on July 23rd where we only had 2,500. Again, I slowed down. You can absolutely tell the weeks that I slowed down. You can see it right here, dropped down to 1,700, whereas we were getting 4,700, 3,500, and 6,300. That's where you slow down. This is where you're not putting in the time or the effort, because we can see where, this comes in from the blogging. And when we get people talking, they've mentioned us on the quilting board. They talk about us on Kara Quilts. They're talking about us, the Stitch and Frame. I mean, it's like all these different places that people are talking to us from. Look at right here. This is probably going to be real interesting. We've got Twitter. As you can see, look at the traffic that was coming in, and then it just dies off because I wasn't able to get on the Hootsuite and Twitter because I was having a really hard time with the meds I was taking, concentrating. When I saw that Hootsuite, it was like, oh my God, you're killing me. And so I just kind of stayed off Twitter, and you can see where the traffic died from that. Let's go into Facebook. That's our number 4 place where people are coming from. You can definitely tell when I'm working and when I'm not working. You can see these little spikes happen when I actually go in there and work the system. So what is working the system? Working the system is going in and chatting and talking and answering people and kind of drumming things up. You know, you've seen these businesses that are on the side of the road, and you know, you don't even know they exist, and then they put a monkey in a suit and they have like, yoo-hoo, come here, come here, come here, come here, and now you see the business, it kind of sticks out in your mind and you're considering going there. Well, we have to be the monkey in the outfit on Twitter saying, hey, come here, come here, come here. We have to be the monkey in the outfit on Facebook saying, hey, come here, come here, come here. And then we have to use our blogging too to say, come here, come here, come here. Because when I look at this and I look at our blog, I can absolutely tell on the days that I do blog and days that I don't blog. Because when I'm not blogging, nobody's coming. Nobody's coming whatsoever. So somebody wanted to know top 5 traffic sources. For this particular website, the top 5 has been Google, the blog, Facebook, and our partnerships. Our partnerships are what's doing it. And absolutely we use email marketing. We are using Aweber, and if you are onechoiceforyourstore.com, if you go to there and type in Aweber, I've got some really great information on there, and there's also a special that you can do for $1. But yes, we've been using Aweber to bring in traffic, to bring in sales, and also to connect with the customers. I'll tell you one of the things that we did do which really helped people to sign up for our email newsletter and want to join it, okay? Because that's what you really want. You don't want people that, well, maybe they want it, maybe they don't. We want active people who want our newsletter. So what I did is go into, under order settings, if you have a Yahoo Store, into email. And of course, you can do this with any type of platform that you're on. All right. Oh, that's not the one I want. Sorry. I want shipping and order status. Okay, underneath the shipping and order status on the confirmation email, we say, hey, thank you so much. We value your business. We'll do everything possible. Once your order shipped, blah, blah, blah. Sincerely, Shauna. Here's us on Twitter. Here's us on Facebook. Well, then when they get the status update, it says, thank you again, and make sure to sign up for our special discounts and new arrivals. That has really helped to get people to sign up, because why we're doing it now after they get a status update, because we're sending them a tracking number within 24 hours. So what we want to do is that we want them to look at this email and go, wow, this company is really great. This company is really, really great. So I want to sign up for their newsletter, because look at this. I have a tracking number usually within a few hours, and now they've got a newsletter I can sign up for. When we find that we found that during our testing, when you ask people to sign up for a newsletter when they're in the checkout, you're not going to get as good of results. You're really, really not. So the other thing that we've done is on the order confirmation page, not on the order page, ask them to join our newsletter, because again, we're trying to get their credit card information. We don't want to ask them for their firstborn. So instead what we do is we have a little message here that says sign up for our newsletter when they actually get to the order confirmation page, because now they've given us their credit card. Now they feel comfortable with us. Now we've gotten them to give us that. Now let's go ahead and ask them if they would please join our newsletter list. Now, we get about 40 to 45% of new customers sign up through this link on the order confirmation page. That is awesome. However, we find that out of those 55 to 60% of people that did not sign up for the newsletter, when they get this confirmation, now this is our confirmation, and we didn't do anything fancy. We just tried to say, don't forget to sign up for our newsletter. Those that do not sign up on this page, over half of them sign up when they get that tracking email. And that is what's really nice, is that we're getting those people that are signing up afterwards. They're saying, yes, I want it. Give it to me. You provided great service. One of the other things that we do is that when we send out an order, we send out a little gifts with each and every order. And try to give them something to say we appreciate you. We write handwritten letters of thank you to each customer. It doesn't have to be extravagant. You know, one of them will say, thank you so much for your order. I can't wait to see what you create. You know, we try to put in what they bought, you know, so we can say, I can't wait to see what you create with the pure fabric that you bought. And I included a couple of goodies I hope you enjoy. And this handwritten thank you note, when you see people that are talking about our business, you'll find out that one of the biggest things they talk about is how, you know, they're getting this handwritten thank you letter and how much it means to them that somebody took out the time to say thank you. Now, granted, maybe you're real busy and you've got to do orders real quick. Well, when you're sitting down at table, you know, just start writing thank you. Thank you so much for your order. We really appreciate your business. And then when it's time to process those orders, just put in the first name up at the top. Make sure you use the same PIN, by the way, so that way they feel like it is, you know, coming directly from you. But something that small has really made a huge impact. We've included what, you know, we have here. What do we have here? We're selling to quilters. What do they need? We found little things that they needed through other websites. For instance, I'll actually show you what we did. We found this really great company called Checker that has all of these little itty-bitty products in it. So we went over to the gifts department. And some of the things that we've sent out are the emery boards that you see here. We've also sent out thread. We've also sent out these cute little sewing kits. So if I come in here and I do sewing kit, these ones here, they're a compact mirror and a sewing kit all together. Now the list price is $2.59. I think we paid like $1 a piece for them. You can never underestimate how much that $1 of adding this small little compact mirror sewing kit added to repeat business. And we have had many, many, many repeat customers. And let's go into repeats. What you'll find when we look at this repeats is that a majority of our customers are coming back a first, a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth. You know, we had one customer that's ordered quite a bit from us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th order with us. 10th order with us since we opened just 6 months ago. And, you know, here's 173 that are showing for the last, I think this one only does it for like 3 months. But that's quite a bit. That's quite a bit of customers that are coming back to us. So if we go ahead and we look at our reports again, so we had 128 orders this month. We've had 173 orders that were repeats. Do you see what I'm saying about lose that $1 and send them a prize or send them a package of something, whatever it may be. You know, if you've got, if you're selling, you've got a dog store, put in a dog treat. You know, put in a little dog treat for their dog, so as soon as they get their present for their dog, they can immediately hand their dog a dog treat. You know, maybe say that I included this particular dog treat, so that way people will go, oh, my dog loved that. I'm going to go and buy more from your store. You know, try to put something in there that will make people want to come back. So that's how we've built this site, using only social media, because as you can see, we didn't go and pay for all this big advertising, or we'd see it in the references. You know, we would see it in the Google, or we'd see it there. But when you're looking at this, the money is coming from Google, which we've got natural rankings, our blogging, our blog partnerships, Facebook. The quilt board was somebody who went in and said how much they loved us because we did send them something for free. Bing, we're starting to catch up more and more on, but then it goes back to Google. Google, you know, there's a partnership, Google, and then now we're actually starting to show up in Yahoo a little bit more. Yahoo and Bing are going to take you a little longer to show up in because they're just the way that the search engines work. But as you can see, this is all coming from building those relationships. You know, building up and talking to people and really getting to know them. So I'd love to answer more of your questions if you'd like, and kind of talk to you about some of the things we did and anything that you want to know. The other thing I'd like to say is if you follow the Now What project, I've kind of talked about how some of the little things we've changed have been able to get a much higher response in our newsletters. For instance, this one was pretty interesting here. The few simple words that it, you know, did a huge increase in sales. This was an email blast that we sent off that was 23 orders, $1,400 in sales in just 24 hours by sending them not only a 10% coupon, but we also added you are only getting this coupon because you're on our newsletter. We will not be advertising this special. However, feel free to pass on the coupon code to your friends and family if you think they will enjoy it. Okay, so that's what we added. Just share this coupon. Brilliant. I mean, people were sharing it like mad, and we started getting more and more and more and more orders, and it was absolutely wonderful. You know, and the great thing about these newsletters that we send out is we usually will get that kind of great response from it. We will get these orders from it. I think this weekend we sent out one, and well, I sent one out on Friday, and let's look at the orders that we have. Now, again, the reason why, I'm just going to say this again, the reason why these email marketing letters, though, work so much is because we are connecting with them through Facebook, through Twitter. It's not like we're sending out to some random stranger and they don't know us. You know, we're really trying to connect with people. So we sent one out on Friday, and I think it was Friday night, and on Saturday, 13 sales, $820. I know we had some more people using that coupon. So, you know, combined, if you looked at that weekend, we're looking at 32 orders and almost $2,000 just from sending that out. Now, Jeanette's got a great question. How often do you recommend sending email marketing? However many you tell your customers. And it also depends, yes, Kat, it depends on your market. Because with quilting, new products come out every single week, every single week, every single week, every single week. And so we actually will email once or twice a week, depending on what's coming out, when it's coming out, how popular it is. We may do it a little bit more. As for blogging, I will tell you that when we blogged on a consistent basis, usually every day, if not barely skip a day, we had more sales coming into the site. And, you know, when you talk about the blog, not everything has to be about products. We've had the Facebook fan of the week. We've done that a couple of times, and people really like it. We've done the giveaways. We've tried to, we've had customers that have submitted really great projects and ideas for us to use as unique content. For instance, this was submitted by our wonderful, wonderful Facebook friend, Sandy, and it's an entire quilting method of how to do things a little bit differently. And this was just from one of our customers. So you can ask them to help you with it. You know, you can do like what we did here is I hate half square triangles, and this is a way to do it easier, faster, and make sure that you're absolutely on where you should be. Doing little tutorials like that. You know, you may think that something's already covered, and you know, when it comes to half square triangles, when you were talking about quilting and stuff, this is so popular. Half square triangles are so very popular, but nobody's going to talk about it the way that I'm going to. You know, if we just do a search on half square triangles, let's just try that. Half square triangles. I mean, there's over 800,000, you know, and then people are looking up how to square half square triangles. So that's another one people were looking at, and there's 4 million results on how to square half square triangles. Now, does this mean that we're going to rank #1? Nope, we haven't. There's a lot of really great sites that have been there, done that. But what we have been able to do is do it in our own voice. We've had people say how wonderful it was that we did this, that they were able to understand, and people comment on their own findings about what they feel half square triangles are worth and how they are. And so there we've got 13 comments. Now from these 13 comments, we could then create another blog just based on these comments alone. You know, this one says, I'm the queen of HSTs. I love them. Here are some links to my blog about them. There's one blog created if we would like to. There's somebody that says, another tip is using a rotary cutter board. There's another one. And if we sell that rotary cutter board, even better. You know, somebody wants to try this and they're talking about the AccuQuilt Go machine. Bam, you've got another idea. So, you know, this is going to, when you use these type of comments to create new blog posts, this is really going to help customers feel like their voice is being heard. And that's one thing that as customers, we really want to hear. Is our voice being heard? Jonathan said, how do you encourage pre-sale newsletter signups? Again, we try to bring it in up here. It's very obvious. It's very upfront that, yes, we would love to get your name and number. But underneath every single blog post, scroll down, we've got PS, have you signed up for our newsletter? This is another place where we see a lot of people signing up. And then very easily, Twitter with Shauna, connect on Facebook, post a comment. Very simple, very easy, and I don't know why my phone keeps going off, and I do apologize. So this is, you know, this is how we did it. This is how we grew it. And over the next 6 months, we're going to grow it even more and start bringing in more of the programming tricks and trades and how we did certain things and how we go about making changes to try to increase sales. You know, some of the things that we did is we found that our sales instantly increased when we fixed a problem on our website. You know, down over here, we had where the You May Also Enjoy wasn't working and it was killing sales. That's the kind of things we wanted to test. You know, we wanted to find out what happens if these things are broken. What happens when we put things over here under what's new? I can tell you that, you know, this Amelia Fat Quarter, $108, I didn't think I was going to sell them because a lot of the sales for this kind of stuff is like $8 a yard. So $108, you know, for this Amelia Fat Quarter, and I put it here on the right-hand side, and I sold out of all 4 of them within 24 hours. That's why I love having this little section of what's new, because I had a whole bunch of these Learn to Sew totes. Got rid of those, putting them over there. I think I've got 1 left. You know, these Moda Bake Shop little boxes weren't selling very well. Put them over here and say, ta-da! They loved it, they purchased it, and now we're running low on stock, which is absolutely wonderful. And Jeanette wants to know, what do you write about in your monthly or newsletter? Does it go out monthly? the newsletter that I write for this particular one, that it's kind of like it's more like a newsletter and email marketing. Sometimes I'll try to put links to some really great projects that I found. Sometimes I try to put in a little tip or trick inside of there. Sometimes it's all about the sale. You know, I try to mix it up a little bit because I don't want customers to begin to assume what's going to be in the email and then not open it, because we want them to open it. We want them to open it. We want them to see what we have to offer, and we want to make sure that they're in there. So that's the biggest reason for that. Do you guys have any more questions for me? I know we're at the end of the hour, and I know I kind of covered a lot, but I wanted to go through the whole process of how it got started, where the idea came from, what we did to build the sales, and where we're at now, because I just think it's absolutely wonderful, and I love what we've done. I've absolutely loved what we've done, and I'm so excited to do the next 6 months and see how much further we can get, although my husband might kill me if any more fabric arrives because it's taken over our house. But it also means that when I do get time to quilt and sew and all that good stuff, that I have plenty of fabric around and I don't have to go anywhere to do it. Sally, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you, Teresa. You know, I want to keep sharing this. I want to keep giving you guys this information so that way you guys can see, okay, how is this being built and what's going on. Bonnie, great question. Do you have to put keywords into your blog to get it noticed? Who sees these blogs? What we've done is we've used Blogger for our blog. I love, love, love Blogger. You know, you could not get me to change over to anything else. I'm sorry. I know that's horrible, but I love Blogger. I had seen too many times where, you know, people get a very successful blog going, and then these hackers can get into it. If you don't update your WordPress constantly, hackers can get into it and just completely ruin everything you've done. And you know, if you're updating the software constantly, that's one thing. But then you have to worry about, well, okay, update this, and then you have to back up, and then you have to make sure you've got everything to do the upgrade. You know, Blogger does all of that software and upgrades and all of that for you. You know, you're not going to have all kind of, you know, gadgets and gadgets and all of that you have with WordPress, but remember what our purpose is of our blog, specifically for our retail store. We're doing it to connect with customers. We're doing it to, you know, hopefully get some sales. Like, for instance, this started selling really well when we did a giveaway. You know, we're not worried about gadgets on this giveaway. We're not worried about that. We're worried about talking with our customers. Okay, and if you notice, our blog matches the website completely. Yeah, everything matches up. So that way, when they actually go from our blog to our charm pack, it doesn't feel completely different. It feels like they're in the same place, they're in the same thing, and you don't get that shock value of, oh, where did I go, and am I in the right place, and are you sure I didn't go to the wrong site? Because everything matches up and makes them feel all warm and fuzzy, all warm and fuzzy. Am I better to move over Blogger even though it's not on my site? That's a personal thing, I would say, as to whether or not you want to move that. If you don't have your blog set up through your URL, for instance, ours says blog.onechoiceforquilting.com, as you can see up here. If you don't have that set up, you're losing a lot of value for your search engine optimization and rankings, because this has been extremely helpful to help us get those rankings. So, you know, if you're going to do it, make sure that you've got it set up for blog.onechoice, you know, blog.yoururl.com. Kat, if you can do a subdomain, I would do a subdomain. Just like the subdomain in this one is blog, that's the subdomain of One Choice for Quilting is called blog. And then that goes over into into our actual blog. So yes, I would do a subdomain of your URL, not just a link. And now as far as particulars on how to do that, I hope you know how, because I have Dustin in the office, who's my BigCommerce like guru, and I let him do all the BigCommerce stuff. Now, it's a page on a store. Yeah. Subdomain is definitely going to help you, because the thing is that it's going towards your URL. So when we're publishing content to One Choice for Quilting on the blog, it counts as we're adding content to the One Choice for Quilting domain itself. And that's what we want. We want this content to go towards our domain, even if it's a subdomain of that. And the other thing that's really nice is, you know, some people are like, well, do I just do www.onechoiceforquilting/blog? The thing with doing it that way, if you do like a directory instead of a subdomain, is that you're not going to get the, it's like extra points for this subdomain. It's like extra points for the URL, because, you know, some people say, well, it's better to do it this way or it's better to do it that way. But what we've seen is that if you do things correctly, you might have a number 1 and 2 ranking from www.yourstore.com and number 3 and 4 ranking from blog.yoururl.com. And when you have those that are doing the folder instead of the subdomain, you don't see that as often. So we like the subdomain. It's absolutely wonderful, and it's very helpful. My pleasure, Kat. Glad I could help. Love you. Mwah. All right, so I think that does it. We've answered all the questions, but if you have more questions, don't forget, you can always come to support@1c4y.com. You can come to our site, One Choice for Your Store. Our newsletter, by the way, yourstorenews.com has got a download for 50 tips to increase conversions. I love this list. It's just short, easy, letting you know what you need to do. And I've even put in a downloadable version so you can download it and have it for you. But it goes over coupons and gift cards and search bars and adding video and product availability and rotating banner. I mean, it's got all kinds of different things, you know, live chat, email address, contact information, just really great information you can get. Go to yourstorenews.com. That's there. And then while you're hanging around, make sure you go to newlifeevent.com. Check that out, because it's going to be back in less than a month. And thank you all for being here. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I look forward to hopefully talking to you on Monday night for our radio show on webmasterradio.fm. All right, bye, everybody.